Nobody expects the Hezi Inquisition. Oh, it's coming tonight. We'll see what sort of action Hezi Thomas can provide for us as well. About to get the qualifying started. We've got two 20-minute races coming up, preceded by 15-minute qualifying sessions. The drivers have all of the 15 minutes to set their fastest time available, and that will line up the grid for race number 1. Then we will clear the sheets entirely, and we will have a second qualifying of 15 minutes, followed by another 20-minute race. So plenty of action lies ahead. Let's head down to the track at Indianapolis in good old Midwest USA. Some drivers rolling out of the pits there. Isaac Rodriguez, we saw there in the red McLaren, trying to get his tires warmed up already, weaving side to side in the pit lane. We got the 72 of Tyler Morgan out on track with the 617 Racing BMW out of the pit lane as well. That is Shane Sullivan, one of the race winners from last week, finished on the podium in the other race. It will certainly be a tight championship if things go the same way they did in the season opener. Indianapolis, though, a completely different track to Zandvoort. Not as much hills or climbing to do. Relatively flat track until they get to the banked section, which Shane Sullivan is approaching now. Tyler Morgan just ahead of him up the road in the number 72 Aston Martin, approaching the final few corners after going through the banking at what is turn 2 around the usual brickyard layout. But in this Grand Prix variation, the track direction is reversed. Tyler Morgan comes up to the line to start the first flying lap attempt of the qualifying session. He goes up to the first corner, very tight right-hand corner. Need to take just the right amount of curb, running a little bit wide, looking to carry a bit more speed. And going through the sweeping turn at turn 3 and the hard on the brakes for turn 4, looking to pinch that Aston Martin in, and now going a little bit wide. And now hard on the brakes for the hairpin at turn 6, and then approaching turn 7, an equally tight hairpin. With the Aston Martin behind him as well, pushing him for his first flying lap attempt. Big straightaway here, braking at that second crowd stripe board a little bit deep. Doesn't want to take the curb, might have just kicked it out onto the grass. But going to turn 9 and 10, or excuse me, this is now turn 11. No dramas here as he enters the Brickyard Road course, or the oval course, I should say. And already some banter going on between Neil and Tyler. Tyler pushing on in that Morgan Motorsport GT4 Aston through the final corner. What sort of time will the Aston Martin put on the board? Coming up to the Brickyard finish line, a 1:47.072 will be the time to chase. Shane Sullivan crosses the line. Will he be able to eclipse the time? He does. A 1:46.317 for the BMW driver. You've got Isaac Rodriguez. Had good qualifying pace, good race pace as well. last week at Zandvoort, looking to keep that momentum going as he will split Tyler Morgan and Shane Sullivan and take his number 14 McLaren up to second place. Race winner from last time, Moriko Yatanashi in the Mad Fox and Porsche to the line, and he will take provisional pole, a 45-0 on the board from the Porsche. Porkchop in the Alpine to the line. He will take fifth. A time is on the board, a 1:47.697 from the number 71 Alpine. Rally Dutchy crossing the Brickyard, and he will take his Porsche up into third place for the time being. Going through turns 1 and 2. Turn 3, relatively flat out before you hit the brakes at turn 4. Slight kink at turn 5 before the braking zone at turn 6. And now the 72 of Tyler Morgan up to the line to finish his second lap, and he will take second place ahead of Shane Sullivan, about 9/10 off of the time at the top of the charts set by Moriko Yatanashi. Cal Ford in the number 84 Aston Martin is on the board. He is in fourth place. Rodriguez with a big improvement to the line. He goes up into third place, moving Shane Sullivan to fourth and Cal Ford into fifth for the time being. Still 8.5 minutes left in the session. Lots of time for the drivers to set their best qualifying lap attempts as Moriko Yatanashi improves the benchmark at the top. He dips into the 44s. A 44.937 on the board from the 53 Porsche. And now the teammate of Moriko Yatanashi, Rally Dutchy to the line into the top 5. He will take a spot on the second row for the time being. Lawrence Thomas in the 134 BMW rounding the final few corners, looking to get a time on the board. Doesn't have one set just yet, but things all look to change as he goes through the final corner, turn number 15, and goes flat out to the Brickyard, or to the brick line, and he will get a time on the board for 8th place. So the question earlier, so this is a rookies competition. How rookies should one be to join the future? You have to have a rookies rating on SimGrid. It's a rookies or seasoned rookie. And then that is the only necessary qualifications to be able to join this league on Mondays. There's also an open multi-class league on Wednesdays, if that is more your thing. On Wednesdays, we have the GT3 and GT4 multi-class in ACC. Exclamation mark SimGrid, I believe, will take you, or will provide a link to all those signups and all the other events that Trackalicious hosts, as Dr. Porkchop in the Alpine comes up to the line, improves the time, but not the position for the time being. Still 6 and a bit left on the clock for the drivers to improve on their qualifying times. So Yatanashi and Tyler Morgan are top 2 in the pits, getting new tires and refueling the car. Shane Sullivan will look to change the order in the top 5. He currently rounds out that top 5 in 5th place in the 617 Racing BMW. And now through the final corner. coming to the line. Where will this put Shane Sullivan? No improvement there. Just a few hundredths off of his personal best. Track conditions are still fast, so it is perhaps just a little bit beneficial to try and get those qualifying laps in maybe at the end when the track is a little bit more rubbered in. So maybe that's just what some of the drivers are waiting for back in the pit lane. Morica going through turn 8 and 9. Or excuse me, that was turn 9 and 10. Now up to the banking. And on the brakes at the 300-foot board. Doesn't take too much curb. Just coming out of the pits looking to get these tires nice and warm and prepped for their first push lap, which should happen with right around 4 minutes left on the clock. That should give Morica about 3 laps to try and improve on their current benchmark of a 1:44.937. And Drew Freiberger to the line behind Morica, gets up into 6th place, improves a few positions, pushes Cal Ford to 7th and Dr. Porkchop to 8th place. Oh, splitter cam from Isaac Rodriguez as he starts to lose the McLaren, exiting turn number 10. Able to keep it under control though, but we'll see if he'll just keep going, I think there. He's gonna have to with how little time is left. Doesn't want to get new tires on the car, because there might not be enough time to warm them up. Mad Fox teammate, Rally Dutchy, in the 621 goes a little bit deep into turn 13 as Isaac Rodriguez gives way very kindly, as he is not on a lap. Goes to the pits indeed, does Isaac Rodriguez, currently sitting in the top 3. Can Rally Dutchy change that? Just a few hundredths off of the time set by Isaac Rodriguez, and now to the line, but I think Rally Dutchy went a little bit wide, so there will be no valid lap on the board this go around. Splitter cam with the Aston Martin of Tyler Morgan as he goes to the line, sitting on the front row. Not able to get an improvement on this lap, but I do believe this was his first push lap after coming out of the pits. So not looking for the time on that lap. This will be the lap to make it count now that the tires are at a more optimum window, or optimum operating window, I should say. Pretty flat curbs at the beginning of the infield section, and then they pick right back up to pretty monstrous ones still here through turn 6. Nice and steady, nice and low curbs as well, as the 72 pushes on this little back straightaway before the braking zone of turn 8. Down a few gears, and this is where the curbs really pick up. Tyler avoids that one entirely as he now goes through turn 9 heavily on that one, very low to the ground, able to chop across there as Morgan runs, or begins to run that little bit wide to carry that speed as best as he can. Now on to the oval section before going hard on the brakes around that 300-foot board, avoiding the curbs entirely, carrying the speed wide into turn 13. Nice and slow through 14, a bit bouncy on the exit, but all under control. And now to the line, can Tyler Morgan find the improvement to displace Yatanashi at the front? Won't quite find it on this lap, about a 10th off of his personal best. still across the line before the checkered flag, as Shane Sullivan will move Tyler Morgan down to third as he puts his 617 BMW in second place. And still with time on the clock, this will be the last flying lap attempt for all of the drivers across the line. Tyler Morgan leads the way of those beginning their last flying lap attempt, and we will round it out with Dr. Porkchop in the Alpine, currently going through turn number 3 as Tyler Morgan goes down the back straight. Shane Sullivan approaching that section as well. Now you see him blasting down this little back straight behind the duo in front of Moriko Yatanashi and Tyler Morgan in the number 72. Moriko taking a heavy amount of curbs there, but that is within the limits set by the game, but running wide onto the grass. That might cost him a little bit of time as they now approach the braking zone of turn number 13. Tyler Morgan going wide in front, so no improvement. Third will be the best that Tyler Morgan can finish. Where will Shane Sullivan finish relative to Moriko Yatanashi? Moriko to the line in the 53 Mad Fox Porsche. Will there be an improvement? And Shane Sullivan goes into the pits, so this will be the remaining top 3 not able to find improvements on their last flying lap attempts. So the last 2 remaining is Lawrence Thomas. He will be first across the line in the 134 BMW, taking the checkered flag. 9th will be the best that Thomas can finish. And can Porkchop find an improvement? Not at the last minute there. So 8th will be the starting position of Dr. Porkchop in race number 1. "13 cars will be starting race number 1. About 3 minutes for the drivers to select their preferred setup, get the tires to the correct pressure, get the fuel to the correct value as well. Don't want to be running out of fuel in these 20-minute sprint races without any mandatory pit stop. So it is a start to finish blast for 20 complete minutes. No pit stop required. Oh, 14 cars. Eberhardt was able to join last minute there in the number 7 Porsche. Welcome, welcome, Josh. So we had a few quali bans for this round, as well as a few pit lane starts. So let's remind ourselves of the starting grid, beginning with Moriko Yatanashi continuing the qualifying pace from round number 1. Out in front in pole position once again in the Mad Fox Am number 53. We'll see if he is reluctant about that pole position or not, or whether he is happy about it this time. And now, good friend and maybe perhaps championship rival, if things turn out to be the same as they were in the round number 1 last week, Shane Sullivan will line up alongside Moriko in the 617 Racing BMW. Tyler Morgan will lead the second row in the Morgan Motorsport GT4 72 Aston Martin. He will have Isaac Rodriguez for company in 4th place in the Speed Killers Racing Team McLaren. Rally Dutchy starts in the top 5 in the Mad Fox M621 Porsche. He will have Drew Freiberger alongside for company in the Mid-Pack Mafia MPM 419 AMG starting from the 3rd row. Then you've got Cal Ford in the 84 Divino Racing Aston Martin, getting the car dropped from the jacks, looking to get racing Dr. Porkchop will look to get racing as well in the Alpine, starting from 8th place in the Chop Shop Racing. Lawrence Thomas will start the 5th row in the BMW Motorsport 134. Josh Ransom will be alongside him, rounding out the top 10 in the Skidmark Racing 503 Camaro. Chris Saunderson in the Allison Racing 18 Audi will start from 11th place. We saw some good pace from Chris in the last race, hopefully able to do the same here in round number 2. Tenno Kanoko in the Big Ten number 9. Excuse me, the number 9 Porsche starts from 12th place. Hezzy Thomas in the 59 Dog Box Racing Camaro starts from lucky or unlucky number 13. And last but not least, Josh Eberhardt will have a pit lane start from race number 1 in the Lucky Devil Racing number 7 Porsche. Hezzy, we will get to that onboard lap at some point, I assure you. And Neil has given Tyler some energy. Starting in the top 3. He will be split, or he will be in the sandwich of Shane Sullivan and Isaac Rodriguez to start things off when the lights go green. Cal Ford in the other Aston Martin on the grid, the number 84, will look to potentially maybe even get into the top 5, starting just outside in 7th place. Dr. Porkchop will look to do the same in that nimble little Alpine, who's able to take those infield corners quite well, but might struggle on that back straight section as well as the start-finish straight. As the drivers get prepared, weaving the cars side to side, getting any sort of temperature they can into those tires, which do not have any sort of tire blankets available to them in these GT4 cars. Going through Sector 3, and they will begin to line up side by side. This will be the last chance for the drivers to do any sort of preparations, get their ABS levels right, get their TC levels right, get the brake bias dialed in for the start of race 1 in round number 2 around the Indianapolis Grand Prix circuit. Track still fast, certainly an element to consider before the track might even go optimum. As they round out the final corner, we will wait for the green lights to go. And there is the green light. Shane Sullivan with a great start, already a car length ahead of the Porsche, and same with Isaac Rodriguez getting ahead of Tyler Morgan, and now he will be alongside Moriko Yatanashi. Yatanashi through the inside, but Isaac Rodriguez will take 2 places into turn number 1, gets by Tyler Morgan at the green light and gets through Moriko Yatanashi around the outside. Shane Sullivan will take the race lead, and now will he be able to maintain that with this big hungry pack behind him looking to chase him down? Oh, and the 617 BMW running a little bit wide, slowing the McLaren down as well. Moriko Yatanashi looking to get involved in the mix. There's a yellow flag there for the 419 and the 84. Josh Eberhardt able to get rolling now in the number 7. Out of the pits comes the Porsche, and the top 3 continue to battle here as we go through the end of the infield section. Tyler Morgan defending from Rally Dutchy, who's trying to get the over-under done, as is Isaac Rodriguez, but it doesn't look like Rally Dutchy was able to get that move done just yet. And now we'll go into the hard braking zone at turn 13. Shane Sullivan going side to side, taking the inside line. Will Isaac Rodriguez find a bit of a nose? He cannot. Shane Sullivan covering it off. Decky, thank you so much for following along. Hope you're enjoying the action so far. Action-packed start so far between the top three. All of them have changed position so far. Shane Sullivan getting the jump on Morico. Isaac Rodriguez taking 2 positions. And now can the McLaren use its top speed advantage down the start finish straight to take the 617? Doesn't look like it. 617 confident. Shane Sullivan very, very comfortable out in the lead, will not crack under the pressure easily as Isaac Rodriguez looks to find the grip to the inside of turn number 4, but Shane Sullivan once again, very good defensive line as the Porsche will look to sweep through and carry the speed as these two continue to battle. Can Moriko Yatanashi line up a move? They're gonna try around the outside, needs to find a lot of grip around this hairpin to get that move done. And does he have a nose length in front? There is a nose length in front. The Porsche will force the McLaren to go and take the wide line. There might have been just a little bit of contact there, and the Porsche forced to lift and hold back. This allows Tyler Morgan to get more involved in the mix, to see himself potentially be back in a podium position. Absolutely epic stuff from the top 4. This is what the rear of the 617 Racing BMW is seeing. Isaac Rodriguez applying the pressure left and right. And of course, with one car going through, that might allow the whole train to go through. Shane Sullivan confidently on the brakes there. Can Morico line up a move? Looking to the inside, sticks a nose in. Will have to keep the grip around the outside of the final corner. Isaac Rodriguez looking to get the power down as those two will go side by side in the back of Shane Sullivan. All the meanwhile, this is allowing the BMW to run away. Yellow flag for the 621 and the 84 in the back there. So a bit more of a gap. Tyler Morgan sending it to the inside of Moriko Yatanashi for that final podium position. The Porsche drifts wide at turn number 2, and that will give a good bit of breathing room to the Aston Martin. Great move up the inside of turn 1. Caught Morico by surprise on the brakes, and now we'll look to hunt down the McLaren in front for that second place. Morico looking to keep within touching distance after making that little bit of a mistake running wide at turn 2. Still right on the tail of this battling pack. And now in the back, Rally Dutchy will look to make improvements up the field after falling back. Was running in the top 5, now in 12th place, side by side with Drew Freiberger in the 419. Both of them will look to get the position in front of Hezzy Thomas, but he will not make things easy as the Porsche has the inside line. Will the Mercedes try to follow through? It looks like he was trying to, but Hezzy Thomas able to defend very well, holding on to that top 10 position, and Drew Freiberger swinging out very, very wide. And will he get the overspeed advantage he was looking for? Looking to line up the move into turn 13, has the inside. They are side by side, hard on the brakes. The Porsche swings wide into the foam barriers and onto the grass. Drew Freiberger will go through up into 11th place. Oh, as Shane Sullivan goes deep into turn 1, trying to defend first place. That will allow Isaac Rodriguez to sneak on through. Let's see what happened. Yes, he did. He just outbroke himself into turn 1 and just had to go along the escape road, costing him the lead. Now, Isaac Rodriguez gaining 3 positions from the start will look to hold on to the race lead. Drew Freiberger getting through. Hezzy Thomas now side by side behind Rally Dutchy, looking to get to the inside of turn 5 to line up the move into the hairpin at turn 6. Hezzy Thomas goes a little bit deep. Oh, there's a bit of contact between the two as well. Hopefully everybody is able to get rolling in the correct direction there. Looks like Rally Dutchy has rejoined as well. So all good in the back there. Everybody still rolling, nobody returning to the pits. As Tyler Morgan coming under pressure from Morrico, a bit of contact between the two. Tyler Morgan holding on to third place, starting another lap here at the Indianapolis Grand Prix circuit. And let's redeem that onboard lap with Hezzy Thomas. Oh, as we tune in, there's contact between the Porsche. I believe that is Tenno Kanoko in the number 9, and contact with, that is Thomas, but Lawrence Thomas. So Hezzy Thomas back in the top 10 after that contact between the 134 and the number 9. And here we can see what playing on a keyboard is like with those inputs from Hezzy Thomas, but still having a good amount of pace. Oh, contact between Hezzy Thomas and Tenno Kanoko. Rally Dutchy will look to pick up the scraps, and Hezzy Thomas closing that opportunity off. Now hard on the brakes into turn number 6. Down a few gears. Now up into 9th place is the Dog Box Racing Camaro, but the Porsche gets a great exit out of turn number 7 in the braking zone of turn 8. The Porsche saw alongside already, and now Hezzy Thomas looking to get the over-under done on the Porsche in front. Rally Dutchy, great move to get that position. And now Hezzy Thomas will look to hold off the Porsche behind of Tenno Kanoko now. Into the braking zone of turn 13. A little bit deep. Everybody runs a little bit deep, from Rally Dutchy to Hezzy Thomas, and Tenno Kanoko behind as well. So just slightly onto the grass from all 3 of these drivers, and that is an on-board brought to you by Hezzy Thomas. So Morrico still unable to get past Tyler Morgan, putting on a good defensive masterclass here. Running a little bit wide though through turn number 7. Not quite on the apex, but the top speed of the Aston Martin able to hold off the Porsche. Morrico dives to the inside. Absolutely late send. Great move from the Porsche to get back into the podium positions. Or no, that's now 2nd place for Morrico, because Shane Sullivan has dropped back to 4th place. But Tyler Morgan is not giving up without a fight. Morrico Yatanashi swinging out to the outside to cover off the attack from Morgan. So Morrico taking that position. Oh, Shane Sullivan wide on the exit of 14, dipping a wheel into the grass, going a little bit sideways. And Josh Ransom is closing in. He holds the current top, or the last top 5 position for the time being, but he is within a second of Shane Sullivan in the 617 for 4th place. All the meantime, this has allowed Isaac Rodriguez to build a comfortable 5.5 second gap out in the lead. 6 laps completed. We'll have about 5 more to go to complete race number 1. And Morico already with a 1.5 second gap over Tyler Morgan after completing the overtake on the last lap into that corner there, turn number 8. Very well done. Deep and late on the brakes, caught Tyler by surprise a little bit, and now we'll look to close the gap to Isaac Rodriguez. Already closed it by about a half a second, if not more. Morico really pushing now to try and chase down Isaac Rodriguez in the lead of the race. Is what Josh Ransom sees the leading Camaro on the grid. Sees the 617 BMW in front. Can Josh Ransom use that pace to try and claw some time back to the 617 out in front? The skid mark racing on board here. That BMW, very grippy through the first bit of the infield section. It doesn't look like the Camaro can quite hold on to as much speed as the BMW in front can, and that's the 71. That's Dr. Porkchop with a yellow flag, but he is out back and rolling. Just a bit of an incident through that big grassy infield section between turn 5 and 6. So the Alpine up a few places from their starting position, being 8th place up to now in 6th. The Morico now holds the fastest lap of the race of 45.012, pushing that Porsche really, really hard to the absolute limit. Close the gap to 3.3 seconds to Isaac Rodriguez out in front. What will it be when they cross the line this time around? 3.1. And improving on the fastest lap time as well on that last go around. Into the 44s goes Morico Yatanashi, drifting it after taking a bit of curb there through turn 3. As the lead Mad Fox AM car up in the podium places. Rally Dutchy in the top 10 as well. Looking to apply the pressure to Drew Freiberger and Chris Saunderson. 3-car battle here between Saunderson in the Audi, Freiberger in the AMG, and Rally Dutchy in the Mad Fox Porsche. Chris Saunderson, after starting from the back of the grid up into 7th place. Good results so far from the Audi. Can Drew Freiberger find a move down the inside, late on the brakes, pushing the Audi onto 2 wheels, and that allows Rally Dutchy to go through the both of them. And that is good sportsmanship there from the AMG, allowing the Audi back through for them to continue the battle now for 8th and 9th place. Rally Dutchy very fortunate there to avoid any contact from both the Audi and the AMG. So he skipped along through there, and now we'll look to try and chase down Dr. Porkchop in 6th place, but with time winding down, under 4 minutes on the clock, That will be a hard task to do. But Moriko Yatanashi will look to complete that feat after being over 5 seconds behind Isaac Rodriguez, putting in some absolutely stellar laps. These last 3 have been super consistent within 0.2 of each other. And one of them being the fastest lap of the race. The gap closed now to 2.1 seconds. Can the Porsche find the speed? Is Isaac Rodriguez feeling the pressure? Is he looking in his rearview mirror and seeing that the Porsche is getting closer and closer? Or is he just racing his own race, not worried about anything going on behind? Knows he's able to defend that position. As Shane Sullivan and Josh Ransom side by side down the back straight. Shane Sullivan maintaining 4th place for the time being, but Josh Ransom not making life easy for the BMW driver. Going through turn 9, this right-hander before slinging back to the left, and then once again back to the right. And on to the oval section they go. Shane Sullivan defending once again. This time from Josh Ransom will ride on board with the 503 Skidmark Racing. Just looking to close that gap, drifting through 13. And once again, very heavy on the curbs in that Camaro. And now 2 minutes on the clock. The leaders have gone through, so there should be 2 laps left. Tracks now switching to optimum conditions. Maximum grip for the drivers. Moriko using that to their advantage, putting in yet another purple lap. 44.762 is now the new best lap of the race. Josh Eberhardt, after that pit lane start, already in the top 10, applying the pressure to the AMG of Freiberger in the 419 in front. He will look to the inside. 3 German manufacturers in a row here. Audi, followed by Mercedes. Or will it be the Porsche? It will be the Porsche, taking the apex of turn 1. And Josh Eberhardt will move his number 7 Lucky Devil Racing Porsche up into 9th place. Great comeback after starting from the pits from Josh here, and he finds himself now on the tail of the Audi of Saunderson in front. So can Eberhardt use the nimble chassis of the Porsche to his advantage to get by the Audi? Down the back straight they go. Big heavy braking zone coming up. Eberhardt already lining up the move. What happened there? Looks like he's lost control of the car. Oh my goodness. Looks like his throttle's just pinned down. Oh my goodness, what happened there to Josh? So there you hear the call that the leader is on the final lap. Leader being Isaac Rodriguez, or will it be Moriko Yatanashi as they cross the checkered flag? Moriko pulling within half a second of Isaac Rodriguez, now activating the headlights, showing the McLaren driver, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to attack. And Isaac Rodriguez wiggling through turn 6, dab of brakes into turn 7. We've seen the move here before from Moriko. Will there be another one here on the last lap of the race? Isaac Rodriguez weaving side to side, trying to break the toe as much as possible, but Moriko will stick to the outside for the time being. Lots of switching around from left to right, back to the left here through turn number 10, and now back to the right through turn 11. Marco nearly having a look and drifting it through the exit, allowing Isaac Rodriguez a cleaner exit. Big braking zone at turn 13. Unfortunately, Marco will not be able to take advantage of it after sliding out of that exit, but very, very confident on the brakes is the Porsche. Isaac Rodriguez, just a few corners left to hang on to the race lead. Through 14 they go, and now the final corner, turn 15. Isaac Rodriguez out in the lead, up 3 positions, starting in 4th, and he will take the checkered flag in 1st place. Great fight back from Moriko Yatanashi across the line in 2nd. Tyler Morgan will take a podium position up in 3rd place. Shane Sullivan across the line in 4th, holding off the fast charging Josh Ransom behind. But congrats on that top 5 finish to Josh Ransom, as Dr. Porkchop and Rally Dutchy have a moment there. Let's see if we can take a look and see what happened. Oh, Rally Dutchy just rear-ending the Alpine, and Dr. Porkchop facing the wrong way, but the 6-2-1. Oh, and the Alpine unable to rejoin cleanly, losing more positions at the end there. The Chop Shop Racing, things going from bad to worse there. Looked like it was going to be a 6th place finish, and now will be 9th. Rally Dutchy across the line in 6th. Saunderson takes 7th in the 18 Audi. Freiberger will take 8th, and then Dr. Porkchop across the line in 9th. Hezzy Thomas through the final corner in another top 10 position for the keyboard warrior in the dog box racing number 59. Tenno Kanoko almost getting Hezzy across the line. Tenno Kanoko will finish in 11th place. Then you have Lawrence Thomas in the BMW 134 taking the checkered flag in 12th place. Last but not least, you have Cal Ford in the 84 Aston Martin running it to the limit of the wall, and he will be the last to take the checkered flag in 13th. Unfortunately there, yeah, we saw that issue for Josh Eberhard at the end. It looks like his throttle was just pinned down. Nothing he could do about it there. Just lost all controls in the game. Well, if you thought that was exciting, let's do it again. Another 15-minute qualifying session coming up for the drivers here. Qualifying number 2 underway, 15 minutes ticking down. Hopefully we'll see Josh able to get that issue sorted and rejoining. Let's go, first win. Congrats, Isaac. Well done. And a mid-session reminder for our podium finishers from race 1 and race 2 coming up to join us in the green room for a quick chat. So from race 1, we'll have Isaac Rodriguez, Tyler Morgan, and Moriko Yatanashi. I said those out of order, but Yatanashi in 2nd, Tyler Morgan in 3rd. Moriko drifting on those outlaps, getting the tires warmed up as best as possible in the number 53. Will it be another pole position for Moriko to start the season? The 4th race coming up after this 15-minute qualifying session. So the Mad Fox Am will look to keep the momentum going of another podium finish in race number 2. And Shane Sullivan will look for a slight bit of better luck. Was out in the lead of the race and then went back to 4th place. Was in 2nd for a good long time. I couldn't quite pick out what happened to see what happened to Shane to drop him from 2nd to 4th. But nonetheless, 4th, a good result in the championship for Shane Sullivan. Going to the braking zone of turn 13. Hezzy Thomas will be the first driver on a official qualifying lap, followed by Moriko Yatanashi, then Tyler Morgan, then Shane Sullivan here, crossing the brick line, start-finish line, to start his first flying lap attempt. This will most likely not be the fastest time we will see from these GT4 cars. As we mentioned earlier, no tire blankets to warm them up before going out on track. So it might take 1 or 2 laps to get them to the correct operating window to really be able to push. And we are carrying over those optimum conditions into the start of qualifying, so we should see some quicker lap times than we did in the first qualifying session. So Hezzy Thomas will be first to cross the line with Moriko hot on his tail. So now rounding out the final corner, what will the times be for these two drivers? Crossing the line nearly simultaneously, Moriko Yatanashi will take the provisional pole of a 46.925 before Tyler Morgan takes that spot away, a 46.367 posted by Tyler. Now Shane Sullivan to the line. Unable to get a valid lap on the board. Must have been a slight track cut there for the BMW driver. But a 46.8 provisionally would have put him very close with Moriko Yatanashi, who has returned back to the pits. Isaac Rodriguez, first-time winner in the Speed Killers number 14 McLaren, up to the line to set his first benchmark time, and he will go to provisional pole. About 3.5 hundredths better than Tyler Morgan. Currently holds a good front row position for the time being. About 6 minutes gone by in the qualifying so far. Still plenty of time remaining. We'll see, hopefully Josh Eberhardt, see him back in the grid standings. He will be out on track there in the number 7. Hopefully all of those issues got sorted there for Mr. Josh Eberhardt. So Tyler Morgan to the line. This will more likely be the representative time of 45.552, the new provisional pole benchmark being set by Tyler Morgan. And now Shane Sullivan will get on the board with a time good enough for 4th place. The 5.03 across the line, no valid lap on the board. Same with, the 4.19. Drew Freiberger is on the board, up in 4th place, and Dr. Porkchop up in 3rd in the Alpine. So the top three, we have Tyler Morgan, Isaac Rodriguez, then Dr. Porkchop, who has made his way back to the pits. Less than a tenth separating third and fourth, and about a tenth between Freiberger and Yatanashi. So as Thomas approaching turn 11, as the 72 in front runs wide under blue flag conditions there, because the 72 now has run wide, invalidated the lap. That will just allow the faster cars to go through, but it doesn't look like they're quite close enough to allow that to happen. So Hezzy Thomas will look to get this time on the board, as will Shane Sullivan, not too far behind in the 617 BMW. Can almost see them both from the helicopter. But Shane Sullivan, or excuse me, Hezzy Thomas first across the line. 8th place. Shane Sullivan up into the front row to 2nd place. 2 tenths off of Tyler Morgan's provisional pole benchmark. So now Lawrence Thomas, 1 corner left. Valid lap is on the board. He is in 8th place, looking for an improvement up to the line. And there is an improvement of about 3 tenths. So that is good to see the improvements there. And Moriko Yatanashi behind, starting the first push lap on the warm tires. Riding on board with the Aston Martin of Tyler Morgan, going through the end of sector 2, not running too wide there, just able to hold on to it, but costing him a little bit of time, not able to get the power down as early as he would have liked. And off to the side of the road goes Tyler Morgan, back to the pits, get some new rubber on the car, and head back out for another attempt. Josh Ransom going through that same corner of turn 12 before going hard on the brakes. Foam boards destroyed already again. So where will Josh Ransom qualify with this time? Up into the top 5, onto the 2nd row, into 4th place goes Josh Ransom. Absolutely great times being set by all the drivers here. Moriko Yatanashi, full power down to the line, down in 9th place from the provisional pole benchmark we've seen earlier, and now up into 3rd place. 2 and a bit tenths off of Tyler Morgan, but 300ths off of the times set by Shane Sullivan, who currently holds that 2nd place position. Now we can see the qualifying pace of Josh Eberhardt. Had that qualifying ban in race 1, or excuse me, pit lane start in race 1. And now the qualifying pace of Josh Eberhardt on full display, a 44.902, 6.5 tenths clear of Tyler Morgan. He takes provisional pole. Great lap by Josh. Able to get those steering wheel / pedal issues sorted, and back in the running for the 2nd qualifying. So Moriko going through the final few corners, looking to push hard out of the final corner, get the power down as best as possible. Running out of time in the qualifying session, about 3 minutes left on the clock. And Monaco goes to the front row, up to second. It's a Porsche front, or it's a Porsche 1-2 for the time being. And the likes of Tyler Morgan or Shane Sullivan, maybe even Isaac Rodriguez, maybe a surprise Alpine in the top 5 as well. Slightly mixed up grid than we saw in the first qualifying so far, but still 2 minutes left on the clock. Anything can happen with the track conditions being about as good as they can be at the time being. And Dr. Porkchop looking to take full advantage in the Alpine, rounding the final corner to the line. Will have time for one more flying lap attempt. Needs to make them count. And Dr. Porkchop advances a position, pushes Isaac Rodriguez down to 8th place, as he himself will look to improve on his standings for the time being. In 8th place, looking to crack the top 5. We can know he has the race pace. Needs to start on a good note, and he will start on a good note to the top of the charts. A 44.835. Now the benchmark set by Isaac Rodriguez. And Monaco moves up to 4th place. Tyler Morgan will split the two Porsches at the front of the grid. Tyler Morgan in 3rd, Yatanashi 4th, Josh Eberhardt in 2nd place. Very close times between all of the drivers. It is an epic qualifying session so far. 30 seconds left on the clock. Drivers really need to make these laps count. Vamos, indeed. You know, Hezzy, it's true, but as long as you're having fun, that's kind of what it's all about. Oh, and a drift from the 617, so that will be the qualifying session done for the BMW. So 5th will be the best that Shane can qualify. So Tyler Morgan going up the banking of the Indianapolis Oval Turn 2 before hitting this little infield section, before going back out onto the oval to the brick start finish line. Where will Tyler Morgan finish? Taking the checkered flag, improves on the time, gets within 3/10 of Josh Eberhardt, and improves on the gap to Moriko Yatanashi behind. It is a super addicting hobby to get into, Hezzy, so hopefully one day able to get a wheel and pedal set of your own. So Moriko, the last driver with a valid lap still on the board. The number 9 of Tenno Kanoko taking the checkered flag, and now back to the pits will go both Moriko and Tenno Kanoko. So that puts a wrap on the second qualifying session. And Isaac Rodriguez taking the pole position in the second qualifying session this go around. Certainly a much different grid than we saw in race number 1. And let's remind ourselves of that starting order. Oh, got the case of the hiccups. On Isaac Rodriguez will start from pole position in the number 14 after taking the race win the first go around. He will have clean air in front from the start. Can he use it to his advantage? Can Josh Eberhart, lining up in second place, do anything about the McLaren dominance from the last race? The number 7 starting from the pit lane, but had great pace to recover into the top 10. Tyler Morgan will start from third place, taking a podium finish in the first race as well. We'll look to keep that momentum going up in race 2 in the number 72 Morgan Motorsport GT4 Aston Martin. Then you've got Moriko Yatanashi lining up on the second row in the Mad Fox Am number 53. Then you've got Shane Sullivan starting the third row in fifth place in the 617 BMW. Drew Freiberger will be alongside him in the German second row. In the Mid-Pack Mafia AMG number 419. Josh Ransom starts from 7th place in the Skidmark Racing number 503 Camaro. Alongside him will be the Nimble Alpine of Dr. Porkchop. The Chop Shop Racing number 71 will look to make up ground once again, as he did in race number 1. The number 84 of Cal Ford in the Davino Racing Aston Martin GT4 starts from 9th place. Rounding out the top 10 will be Lawrence Thomas in the BMW Motorsport number 134. Then you've got Hezzy Thomas in 11th in the Dog Box Racing number 59 Camaro. Keeping him company on the 6th row will be Rally Dutchy in the Mad Fox Am Racing number 621. Engines are rolling, cars are dropped. Chris Saunderson starts from 18th in the number 18 Audi. I lied, he will start from the pits in the number 18 Audi still. Last but not least, you've got Tenno Kanoko in the number 9 Big 10 Porsche, starting from pit lane alongside Chris Saunderson. So the grid gets rolling for the start of the formation lap. Track conditions are optimum, looking nice and dry out there. Yeah, you're right. Sam Warden is not here this season. Our rookies champion from the summer season, graduating to the open class. Formation lap getting started. Almost through the first sector. Shane Sullivan wiggling the car, getting the tire temperature, as Josh Eberhart has a slightly different approach of drifting. Alex K, what up, my friend? How goes it? Hope you're doing well. Good way to start the day here and watch some GT4 rookies action. Race is going good. Race 1 was very action-packed. A bit of contact here and there, but good sportsmanship on display. Drivers slowing down, letting everybody go through. But nonetheless, absolutely epic battles in race number 1. Hopefully continuing that in race number 2. Formation lap getting through the second sector now. Oh yeah, the GT4s are absolutely epic, especially around this track. I'm kind of surprised by how good the racing has been. I haven't been able to really experience the GT4s around here, but it has been absolutely epic to watch. And they line up in zipper formation going through turn 13. Very tight corner, can barely fit 2 cars wide through there. But one of the better overtaking opportunities. We've seen it done there before. Will we see many there again in race number 2? Rounding out the 2.4 mile layout at the Indy GP circuit. 15 corners each lap. Should have about 9 laps of racing ahead of us. So Isaac Rodriguez will lead the pack once the green light waves. And there goes the green. And Moriko Yatanashi is trapped by Shane Sullivan. Isaac Rodriguez gets a really good getaway. And Shane Sullivan gets 2, not 1, but 2 Porsches. And he might be looking to get the Aston Martin of Tyler as well. Very deep on the brakes from the BMW. Up into 2nd place from 5th goes Shane Sullivan. Tyler Morgan hanging on to 3rd. A bit of side-by-side action there between Drew Freiberger and Josh Ransom. It looked like a bit of contact between the Porsche as well of Moriko Yatanashi dropping back down the order. Unfortunately, there is Moriko, but Isaac Rodriguez gets a good launch, as did Shane Sullivan, jumping up 3 places from the start. Under pressure now from Tyler Morgan in 3rd place. Going through turn 7, down the back straight into turn number 8. Will the Aston Martin have a late send? Not quite on this lap. Considering the better of it, as Moriko Yatanashi will look to have a send down the inside and is bumped from behind by Cal Ford, who in turn is bumped by Dr. Porkchop in the Alpine a little bit wide, forcing the Aston Martin down the wide line. And now the Aston a bit offline, allowing Drew Freiberger in the 419 AMG to sneak through the inside of turn number 12. He will have the advantage into the braking zone. Oh, and the Aston Martin goes very deep. And the Aston Martin will take the position back for 8th place. And there has been a change in the lead. Tyler Morgan now leads the way from Shane Sullivan, from Josh Eberhardt, from Isaac Rodriguez. And it's going to be side by side. Tyler Morgan defending the inside. Can Shane Sullivan do the same move he did on turn 1 last time around? And Isaac Rodriguez sweeps through the inside of the Porsche of Eberhardt to get back into those podium places. But Josh Eberhardt will fight that position back and will look from the rear of Shane Sullivan. Moriko Yatanashi back in the top 5, applying the pressure to Eberhardt in the number 7. And he looks down the inside of Isaac Rodriguez. A bit of contact. Isaac Rodriguez forced to the inside. Moriko will take both of those positions. And there's more contact between the Camaro forcing their way through, pushing Eberhardt out wide. And now there is absolutely action everywhere. Cal Ford splits 2 cars, gets 2 places, but Eberhardt fights back to the inside. Cal Ford doesn't care. He sweeps through the middle and will jump 2 cars with that absolutely epic move. And we are just not even 4 minutes into the race. And now Josh Eberhardt fighting with the Alpine to the inside of turn 12 onto the banking of the oval they go, and now into the braking zone of turn 13. That is done and dusted. Isaac Rodriguez off in front. The McLaren slipping from 1st, now back into 7th place, and there is nearly contact behind from the AMG and the Alpine and the Porsche looking to gain those places. Josh Eberhardt right on the tail of Isaac Rodriguez. Tyler Morgan leading the way. The gap opened up at the front to 1.7 seconds, and Shane Sullivan has 1.5 seconds to Moriko Yatanashi. Cal Ford up into 4th place after that absolutely epic move, and gets by Josh Ransom into turn 1 as well. Eberhardt still pushing Isaac Rodriguez along, not giving him any breathing room. These two were at the top of the field, starting from the front row, and now they are fighting for 6th and 7th place as Moriko Yatanashi is back in the pits. That will allow Cal Ford, and Josh Ransom runs a little bit wide. Oh, and there's triple contact, quadruple contact. A bit of a chain effect happening there. One car going into the other, slowing one car, and now the gap's opening up here at the positions between 5th and 7th place. Josh Ransom and Hezi Thomas, the two Camaros. Josh Ransom to the inside of turn 8. Hezi Thomas has the speed around the outside to get that move and take the position back. So now Drew Freiberger up into 6th after all that chaos unfolding behind. Isaac Rodriguez up into 4th. Dr. Porkchop in the Alpine up ahead in the 71, looking to hold on to that strong top 5 finish. And down the main straight they go. Drew Freiberger in the AMG, towering over the little Alpine. As Dr. Porkchop defends the inside, can Drew Freiberger find the grip to keep it within the track? Great move to sweep around the outside of turn 1. And not too far behind, this is Josh Eberhardt going through the inside of turn 4. Very tricky move to get done, but he gets it done. Past Lawrence Thomas, up into 7th place now goes the number 7 Porsche. So these conditions in race number 2 really mixing up the order here. Cal Ford currently has the fastest lap of the race of 45.337, and there's contact between the BMW of Lawrence Thomas and Josh Eberhardt. Ransom goes through in the 503 Camaro. Retrovex with the raid. Hello, my friend. How are you doing? Hope the stream went well. Welcome to the chaos unfolding here in race number 2 of the GT4 Rookies Championship. Oh, Hezi Thomas very deep on the brakes. Josh Eberhardt will hold on to 8th place as Hezi Thomas rejoins the track and goes slightly wide at 14. But all still well for the 59. Josh Eberhardt, though, falling back a little bit after that contact into turn number 8. Gaps opening up here. Tyler Morgan in the lead with Shane Sullivan in 2nd place, about 2 seconds behind. Their lap times were pretty similar on the last go around, and in fact Shane Sullivan does have the faster personal best of the two. So if he can string together a few of those laps, might just apply the pressure to the Aston Martin, who will certainly look to build the gap and improve on that personal best of his as well. Moriko Yatanashi across the line with the fastest lap of the race of 44.502. Tyler Morgan maintaining that gap right around 2 seconds to the BMW behind of Shane Sullivan, keeping it consistent out on track nearly halfway through the second race of the night of the GT4 Rookies Round 2 around the Indianapolis Grand Prix circuit. Tyler Morgan going through the last bit of the infield section. There you hear the race director. Pardon me. You hear the race director announcing the halfway mark of the race. So we should see about 4 more laps of racing. Can Shane Sullivan find that little bit of pace he needs in the BMW to close down the gap to the lead? Or does Tyler Morgan have this one in the bag with the pace that he is going at? Drew Freiberger trying to pick up the pace a little bit as well. The lap times are so evenly matched in this midfield. Isaac Rodriguez ever so slightly closing that gap to the final podium place, currently being held by Cal Ford, as Drew Freiberger runs that little bit of a wide line, but that's how he got the move done earlier. And that is the line it seems the AMG likes to take around that corner. Here you see the gap from Isaac Rodriguez to Cal Ford in front. Both cars running wide. Isaac Rodriguez able to keep it under control as the dust getting kicked up by Cal Ford in front, and then Isaac Rodriguez behind as well. Cutting through turn 11 with precise margins. Now flat out through turn 12, up onto the banking a slight bit before braking for turn 13. Trying ever so much to close the gap in front. Let Cal Ford see him more and more in the mirrors. The both Aston Martins of the race looking to keep the gaps they currently have. Tyler Morgan out in the lead, in the first Aston Martin in the 72, has now a 3.5 second gap to Shane Sullivan, and Cal Ford in the number 84 Aston has about 1.8 seconds to Isaac Rodriguez, looking to get on the podium in race number 2. Isaac is certainly pushing hard here. And the two Thomases will battle. Hezzy Thomas versus Lawrence Thomas. Hezzy has the inside, Lawrence around the outside. There's a contact between the two and heavy damage to the front end of Lawrence Thomas, going into the concrete barrier on the inside. And it looks like that will be a trip to the pits for the 134. Six minutes on the clock before the checkered flag will wave. Isaac Rodriguez needs to use that all the time he has to his advantage. The gap grew to 2.4 seconds. We'll look to close that through the final few quarters. McLaren very good in the top speed department. And lots of support for Isaac Rodriguez in the chat as well, cheering on the Speed Killers racing team to a potential podium finish here if he can close the gap to the Aston Martin of Cal Ford, who has maintained that gap very well, I must say. Props to Cal Ford in the number 84. A bit of scratches on the front of the car, but able to avoid a lot of the carnage and in a good spot to finish on the podium. Now Cal Ford might just be closing the gap to Shane Sullivan in front at a good rate, to where those two might be battling towards the closing stages as well. Chris Saunderson into the top 10 in 9th. After starting from the pit lane. Good race pace from Chris Saunderson, as always, in the Audi. Oh, and a big drift from Hezzy Thomas. Great show there from the Camaro. Taking it very quickly through turn number 10. Gap between Tyler Morgan and Shane Sullivan nearly 5 seconds at the front. Great pace demonstrated by Tyler Morgan in the number 72 Aston Martin. Took that lead and never looked back. Through the start-finish line to start the penultimate lap of the race. Or no, he's at the front of the track. What am I saying? I got confused there. Now he will go on to the start-finish line to complete the 10th lap and start lap number 11, the penultimate lap of the race. Moriko Yatanashi down the inside of Tenno Kanoko for that final top 10 position. Moriko Yatanashi fighting back after dipping into the pit lane early on. I can only presume there was a bit of a fuel miscalculation. And running a little bit wide onto the grass, exiting turn 7 as well. But Moriko has the pace to clear most of this field. Currently has the fastest lap of the race, a 44.502. Dr. Porkchop in 6th place. 1.2 seconds off of Drew Freiberger, so the Alpine is really closing the gap, and the AMG is not helping itself after drifting on the exit of turn 7. Now on the approach to the braking zone of turn 8, the Alpine will really look to use that to its advantage in the closing laps of the race. Can the Alpine get close enough to pull off a move and finish in the top 5? Yellow flag in front. No, behind. That was the number 9 of Tenno Kanoko. So now Dr. Porkchop within a second of Drew Freiberger. Last lap of the race. Can the little Alpine find a move and finish in the top 5? Right on board with the Alpine through the first sector. Delicately getting the power down through turn 2. Now around the right-hander at turn 3. Up through the gears. Into the 2 hairpins at turn 6 and 7. So Dr. Porkchop, gap up to 1.5 seconds. Can only hope for a miracle out in front. But Drew Freiberger, maybe just through this section here, suffering from the pace, or in the pace department, the Alpine really closing the gap through sector 2. But Tyler Morgan will finish on the top step here in the GT4 Rookies race number 2 at Indianapolis. Congrats, Tyler. Well done. Celebration wiggles from the Aston Martin. Shane Sullivan will take the second step, and Cal Ford will take third in the Divino Racing 84 Aston Martin. Isaac Rodriguez with a good fight at the end there to try and claw back a podium position, but 4th place will be where the McLaren will finish. Drew Freiberger holding off the Alpine for a top 5 finish in the 419 AMG, and Dr. Porkchop across the line in 6th in the number 71. Josh Ransom takes the checkered flag in the 503 Camaro in 7th, with Chris Saunderson with a good finish up in 8th place after starting from the pit lane. Lawrence Thomas takes the checkered flag, as does Tenno Kanoko. 11th for Kanoko, 12th for Thomas. Saunderson takes the checkered flag in 8th place. Hezzy Thomas in the 59 Camaro, Dog Box Racing. Another top 10 finish for Hezzy, takes 9th place. Last but not least, Moriko Yatanashi across the line with the fastest lap of the race in the 53 Porsche. We'd love to invite our podium sitters to join us in the green room for a quick chat about how these races unfolded from their perspective. Take it back to our lovely studio here. See if any of the guys are ready for a chat. So from race 1, we have Isaac Rodriguez, Shane Sullivan, and
green light. Go, go, go.
Oh my goodness, I'm blanking on it. Blanking on it already. Blanking on it. Oh yes, race 2. Cal Ford, Shane Sullivan, and Tyler Morgan. Got Moriko and Tyler. Welcome, you pair. Congrats, Tyler, on the win, and Moriko on the podium finish. let's talk about race 1 first and foremost. That was absolutely action-packed from start to finish. Anybody?
I can't hear Kuja, honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, Mirko. Can you? It just sounds like he's so far away from his mic.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Because the Discord settings are wrong.
Well, there you go.
There,
Well, here we
Yes.
go.
there we go.
Howdy, friends.
Hello.
Congrats.
Wow.
Congrats.
It
So
feels
let's
weird
go
being
through
back
race
in here.
1 first. How did that go for you two? Absolutely action-packed from start to finish.
I'll admit, Mirko, that wasn't as much of a dive bomb as it was me trying not to kill you. It just so happened to work as the most beautiful dive bomb, and you saw me coming, so I'll give you credit for that. I'll give you heads up driving. But yeah, that was not an attempted overtake. That was please don't let me kill this person, please. It made it look really good though. It was really
It was honestly a really clean accidental dive bomb, I'll admit that. But man, I was bumping and banging you trying to get through at the same spot too. You were just braking a lot earlier than I normally would brake at.
See, with you in the Porsche, you can corner a lot better than my Aston can, but I beat you in the straights, so it's kind of like I had to, in a way, in order to not get absolutely destroyed. But eventually, you got past me, and I couldn't fight back. Like, you had a little bit of a slip up on the final S there, and I like tried to race you to that corner, but like, if I had stayed where I was going, we both would have died. So it was like, you know what? I'll just let him take it, and I'll try and stay ahead of Sullivan. And I stayed ahead of Sullivan both times. Like, it was so insane. Like, he would catch me in the straight, but I just couldn't. He just couldn't catch me in the corners.
Yeah, those BMWs, and especially the McLaren too, that was absolutely terrible in the corners, but on the front and back straight, it was gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, crazy. And then Morgan, what happened there in race 2? Had to go back to the pits.
Sullivan's in the green room.
The annoying thing, what happened was, I've never actually had this happen before in practice. On turn 4, ACC just decided to want to do ACC things, clipped my tires through the curb, and I went onto my side.
Oh, good.
Otherwise, I probably would have caught up to Tyler really easily. I mean, you saw it in race 1 when it came to the McLaren. Right at the end of the race, I was right up there.
Yeah, you certainly were. Yeah, you had the fastest lap of the race in, I believe, both races. Yeah, you were just I ran out of time in race 1 to fight for the lead there.
I'm the problem of that.
I had pace definitely to really fight for the lead, but I was just given the short end of the stick in both races. I got too far back in the pack in both of them, trying to fight my way through slower cars, and it just didn't work out in the end, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. And now that Shane's joined us, let's talk to Shane about how your race 1 kind of unfolded there. You were up in the podium places for a little bit, but kind of dropped back a little bit towards the middle / the end there, right?
Yeah, it was tough. I led the first couple of laps, and then I think by the end I was all the way back to P4, praying to God, because I had someone right down my throat too. So
your tires were shot. Like, I could tell. I could tell when we were getting into that hairpin section when I overtook you and you went into the gravel. Your tires were just dead, and that's why I had to brake like 50 to 100 meters earlier in that corner, just because the tires will die in that corner. And
yeah, they were really gone.
Honestly, where I got like a good 3 or 4 seconds on you that over time is in that corner, because I just kept taking it the same way and you just kept going wide.
That was definitely a struggle. I think it was one of those things right before the race. I was still kind of trying to figure out the right setup for the car and get things dialed in the right way. I think had made some changes before race 2 after qualifying, and obviously those kind of paid off in the end. But that's kind of the when you don't practice enough, you pay the price.
Certainly happens, yeah. And Indy, I wouldn't say is too popular of a choice to really practice on, but it's provided a great bit of racing here tonight. Now, on to race 2. Shane, I want to talk to you in particular about that start. You took 3 positions at the start.
Dude, that start scared the shit out of me. I'm like, oh boy, I had a great start. I see a BMW in my windows. I'm like, huh?
No, that was all BMW power right there coming through, man. I had just a hell of a start. Honestly, in both races, I think that's every race this year so far. The starts have been really good, and I think going into it this time, it was definitely one of those fun things. You kind of seeing, all right, from this far back, what can we do? And then I started to realize, I was like, okay, actually, I think I might be able to get quite a ways up here. And then all of a sudden, next thing I know, I got clean air in front of me. And then even going around, more than halfway through that lap there, I think I did my best Danny Ricciardo impression going into one of the corners on Isaac. They had to grab the lead for a minute, but Tyler swept right through, man.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, that was going to be the next question. Is Tyler, talk us through taking that move on Shane to take the lead away.
It was kind of just like an kind of unlucky for Shane, but lucky for me. That was kind of my strategy in race 1, where it was Mirko, Shane, and I think Rodriguez. Yeah, in the first race, where I was kind of just sitting behind all 3 of them, waiting for something to occur, and like it kind of worked out the same there. I had somebody behind me. I don't know if it was Mirko or if it was somebody else, because I don't know if Mirko had gotten lost by that point. But like I was just watching those 2, and I watched Sullivan go for this dive, and I'm like, oh, that's not the spot to do it. Then they make contact. I'm like, oh, okay, I might just take this. Sullivan jerks to the right because he knows I'm coming, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's a good thing I took this corner at the appropriate speed. Just kept it to the right, stayed alongside enough. I gave him room in case he wanted to fight. But I think he realized pretty quick that I was going to get past him either way.
Yeah,
so
you had the momentum in there.
You just let me go. But the problem is, as soon as you let me go, I was gone. Because as soon as I got into the corners, I just left you. I will say, no matter what, I was sweating bullets both races. Because like you were behind me in both. I'm like, oh my god, one slip up and he's got me. I can't afford this.
Yeah, I definitely had mine tuned for more the straight line speed, because the BMW at the end of the day, I love her, but at the end of the day, her power is not in the corners. So anything you can do to take advantage of those straights,
Right.
You guys make my heart race, man. Like I don't race like this in like my Tuesday league, because I just pit stop as soon as it's able. With sprints, you don't have to, so it's just a fight to the death, and it's like so. Oh, look, I did not think I was going to beat Mirko today at all, like one bit. The fact that I got a race win over them is insane. Their pace was nuts.
Yeah, if I didn't have that incident in lap 3 where my car just went off onto its side, I definitely could have caught you and Shane.
Oh, you would have definitely. I would have definitely had to let you go. There was no way I was beating you with that pace.
The problem is where I'm fastest is in the area where it's very difficult to try and make a pass. Like when you get to the S's in Sector 2 and towards the end of Sector 3, I am rapid, but once you get on the straights, everyone just starts pulling away from me.
I'm gonna have to look at that Sullivan start on race 2, because like I felt I didn't get a bad start in P3 because I overtook P2 pretty easily, and then as I'm coming, I'm seeing Shane. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep moving over to the left and hope
you kept nudging slow. I was like, I know I'm here. I'm
just like, I'm gonna nudge to the left, hoping he doesn't notice, and he just kept coming, and I'm like, okay, I can't fight this, and I didn't want to make it 3 wide, so I braked like 50 meters earlier than I was going to, which probably scared half the field behind me.
Oh, even me, I was like, oh, Andy's gone. Okay. All right, well, now we got to figure this out.
I was not fighting into turn 1. That's a death sentence no matter what you do, front or back of the grid. I was not fighting into turn 1.
That's one of those ones
I was gonna say, you say that at the start of the race, I made it 3 wide into turn 1.
I'm aware.
Terrifying. That was terrifying. Like,
I'm
oh God, this is
aware.
on
I
my
was
left.
in it. I was just like, well, I hope I don't die because I was in the middle of a 3-way turn 1 both times. I'm like, can this not happen to me, please? I actually can't wait to look back and watch this. This is going to be a fun stream to watch back because it's just going to be. I need to see the dive I did on Mirko because I know it got caught on the stream. So I'll have to watch that. I'll have to watch that. But yeah, no, that was a fun race, guys. And Kuja, thank you as always. I can't wait to rewatch this as I'm falling asleep in bed tonight. And
you won't be falling asleep.
No, I will not be. Bro, my pulse is like, my heart rate's like 180 right now. I'm awake.
Well, certainly,
Now you
Trope,
go
to
pop the
keep that.
champagne.
Yeah, right. Hopefully, keeping that momentum going into the next round. Next week, we have off for Labor Day. We'll be back the week after that at Watkins Glen. So,
that's
congrats to the 3 of you. Good luck in the remaining races. Hopefully, we'll see you back in the green room and chatting here in the next races.
Easy around.
Thank you.
Move you guys back on here to the green room. Thank you for those podium sitters for joining us. And as always, I'd like to invite all the podium sitters to join us if they so choose so. It's not forced, of course. So that'll conclude the round here this evening at Indianapolis. Tomorrow, the LMU fall season kicks off with their championship on Wednesdays. We've got the ACC multi-class GT3 and GT4 championship, followed by the LMP2 and GT3 multi-class championship in iRacing. And then back to Mondays. Thanks, Caliber, for the follow. Stick around for the raid this evening. Provided to you by Go Getter Greg. Doing a bit of iRacing, show the support from one sim racing community to another. Hope you have enjoyed the GT4 rookies this evening. I have been Kuja Terekov. We will catch you all next time.